Hey everybody, what's up? Circus here. I'm coming at you with a new video series, and joining me for it is going to be eHero XGP. How you doing, buddy?
What's up? What's up?
All right, so we thought it'd be really fun to do what we are going to call like a hardcore casual series. You can be like, Circus, what's hardcore casual? It's someone that loves playing Yu-Gi-Oh like myself, but has no desire to play competitively. So, all you pro players that are watching this video, I'm going to give you about 3 seconds to get on out of here so we can move on. 1, 2, 3. All right, so if you're still here, let's talk hardcore casual. Recently, if you guys saw the video, I bought the new box, right? I spent way too much money on it. And so a lot of people say, oh, the box is doo-doo. There's no good decks in it. There's a lot of cool cards and a lot of cool decks in it. And we just want to kind of focus on them or look at them and just say, hey, what do you guys think? There's just a lot of cards like that in the game, right? An event comes around and people are like, oh, all the cards in this event are doo-doo. It's like, yeah, but you can make some crazy decks with them, right? And have some fun. So that's what we want to focus on here. So, how were you in the new box, Hero? Did you go into it yet?
I've went into it. I have not gone very deep into it because I don't have that many gems. I'm trying to get the Predaplants, but there's a lot of interesting stuff in the box that I think is very good.
Okay, so well, let's talk about Predaplants then. Now, when I buy a box, obviously I'm going after the big decks everybody's talking about, right? And this one was Evil Eye. What else? What was it?
WitchCrafters.
WitchCrafters. I was couldn't think of the name. WitchCrafters, right? So, but you get all these other cards in the process. So I'm like, well, you spend money on them, you spend your time and gems on them. So I think you should use all the cards in the box that you can. So what I do is I make auto-duel decks out of them. Now, are these great decks? No, these are just auto-dueling decks. I just want to use the cards because I have them, okay? There's going to be a lot of other uses for them, but we're just going to focus on this right now. Like earlier today, I was watching Nifroth stream. If you haven't seen him stream on Twitch, he's great. He was playing like a Neos version of Predaplants. It was crazy. It was fun to watch, but this is just an auto-duel version. So I'll start playing it here a little bit, and then we're going to talk Predaplants. Okay, so anytime I'm making an auto-duel deck, I'm looking for something. In this case, it's a fusion deck, so I'm just looking for a way to get a bunch of monsters in my hand and then fuse them, right? And this one actually has a way to fusion from within without using polymerization, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, and that's this one right here.
Yep.
All right.
He can fusion summon during your main phase, but he can only fusion summon a dark type fusion monster using himself and another creature as a material.
All right, so we're going to get some orbs here. We're just going to show you what's up, and we're going to talk Predaplants a little bit. What do you know about Predaplants?
They were used by one of the main characters in the Arc 5 anime. They have a lot of support that we don't have in Duel Links. They are a fusion-based plant archetype, which is very not usual, something new to the game when it was released.
Mm-hmm.
They like to put counters on the opposing monsters, a la aliens, and those counters make the monsters dark type and reduce their level to 1.
Okay.
And then depending on the creature, like our monster that fusion summons, you can use the opposing monsters that have predator counters on them as material.
Okay. And in this case, when the boss monster comes out, if the opposing monster has a lower level, it can banish it, which is great. So, as you can see, it wins really quick. So if you're looking at auto duel and get stuff done really quick, it's just fun to watch because the computer can end things in like 2-3 turns. So I enjoy it's always fun building a deck, right? And then you play it and it's like, oh, it worked. So that's why this one's so much fun, because it can summon out and then it'll fusion summon, and then next thing you know, the game's over. It's great.
Yeah, I think Predaplants have a lot of potential on ladder, in auto duels, and maybe even in tournaments, because the strategy is very splashable. You can literally play just that card and the fusion monster.
Okay. All right. So we've seen that a little bit, right? Yeah.
Yes, we've seen several people do that in tournaments. We saw a Dark Lord player using it. It fits very well into Lunar Lights. I even think it could help Thunder Dragons. Maybe even, if you can find room, you can even shove 2 of them in the Dark Magician and summon the plant. Now you can finally get over stuff like Chaos Hunter.
Oh, okay. I don't think we're going to be seeing Dark Magician using Predaplants anytime soon, unless they get desperate, right?
Yeah, well, it maybe in sideboard, because it does give them an out to large things that they normally don't have an out to.
Okay. So, like I said, I just have fun making these auto-duel decks. You guys have to let me know what you do with the extra cards in a box. This is my pastime. I just have hundreds and hundreds of auto-duel decks that I've made from extra cards in a box. What do you do with them, Hero?
I normally will make either a character deck, so the character that would more than most likely actually play them, or the character that did play them in the show.
Okay.
Or, like you do, put together an auto-duel deck or an event deck, and a deck to run through the event with that is the most optimal for it.
Okay.
Like I've done that with Eviolites when they were released. I've done that with several of the lesser archetypes that have come out that just don't have any competitive viability, but they're interesting and fun to watch play.
All right. So now, if you were watching or watched the video that when I did all the pack openings, you'll see that these were from the selection box, so I had like 4 or 5 going in to the video, and then I got now I got 8 of this one. I've got 6 of this one. But it was kind of cool because they're in the box, and the Altergeist also came out, and Altergeist don't have a lot of cards in the archetype in this box. So yeah, here you go. It's 3 monsters, 1 synchro, 2 monsters, and then a couple traps. So what I saw was they're spellcasters, and then these are you're allowed to summon them if you have a spellcaster on the board. So anytime you can get a special summon going, and you got tuners, what do you got? You got a synchro deck, right? And that's what this is. So in this one, I'm just going into level 6s. It's obviously the easiest one to summon. So. And then I'm playing the trap here, which is cool because it's a monster in itself. So we use that as well. So you got a bunch of level 4s, a bunch of level 2s, and I was surprised that it actually worked pretty well.
Agreed.
What do you know about Altergeist?
From what I understand, they are a trap-heavy archetype in the TCG. They are spellcaster variants. So, and we have so little of their cards. We have 1 synchro, 2 effect monsters, and 2 traps.
Mm-hmm.
I think they could definitely be better in the future, especially with the new ruling or the ruling change that trap monsters no longer take up 2 slots on the field.
Okay, right.
Our space in Duel Links is already limited to 6 slots anyway. So that ruling super helps trap monsters, which I'm a fan of.
Yeah, and one of them does search your trap, so that's cool. You summon it, and then you can search the trap, get it on the field, and you can swarm the board on turn 1 or 2, like you just saw there. I mean, that was a 1 turn, 2 turn thing. So it looks like here, the computer won't more than likely synchro summon, but it has the opportunity to synchro summon here, and it does. Wow. Yeah, okay.
Because you went second,
right?
It'll never synchro summon on turn 1.
Right. It's like it's afraid to, right?
Yeah. I do really like the Altergeist Synchro monster. It's generic, so you can make it in anything, and it has two rather decent effects. It has a bounce effect, and it also has an effect. If it is tributed, it comes straight back to the field.
Right.
So it negates the cost of Ballista Squad, or even if you can attack over something and then Ballista Squad it, you get another attack with it because it comes back to the field.
Right.
So it negates the cost of Econ, it negates the cost of Ballista Squad. It's not an amazing card, but I feel like it definitely can see play.
And the computer will never summon it as long as Gaia Knight, the Force of Earth, is in your extra deck.
Yes, it will summon the creature with just the most attack
possible. The most attack. I put all these spicy ones in here, right? To see if it'll go into any of them. It always goes into Gaia Knight. So, and by then, it's over. So I'll show you one more auto-duel and we can move on. But as you can see, all these decks are very viable. I mean, I'd like to say, oh, it's a tier 1 auto-duel deck. Is there such a thing? Or like you'll see clickbait videos like 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 wins. I mean, they're pretty good. I mean, we'll get to the one I've been using in the event. I played it for like 8 hours today, and I think I lost like 4 times. So you give the computer a simple deck, and you control the variables, and it does pretty well. It doesn't seem to be tearing it up here.
Not currently. There we go.
There we go. Well, wait. Why aren't you synchroid? Oh, there's no tuner. That's why. Never mind.
Yeah. We're stabilized. Calm down. We're stabilized.
Okay. When I build a synchro deck, I want to see synchro summoning.
And then it just...
Oh, it's not going well. Oh, here we go.
Oh, everything's fine.
Oh, it's going to attack in. I bet it uses Canadia and Walla D on the same turn. Watch. Oh, okay. We got our monsters out. Oh, we're going for a deck out. We're going for a deck out.
Auto-duel deck out.
God. Hey, we take those.
Altergeist, you nasty.
Undefeated.
Wow.
Too funny.
All right. Man.
That's great. Hardcore casual at its best, right?
Exactly.
All right, so we're going to move on to Battle Wasps. This is another one. It's like 3 cards in the box. I was surprised how few cards there are.
Yeah, I do not know much about this archetype. I don't know if we have most of it or very little of the archetype. It seems like an archetype that was used by one-off duelist in the show, that they made his deck in the game, and it doesn't really do anything or have much.
Now this one, it's a bunch of little monsters, right? You got these guys, and they don't really do a whole lot on their own. Like, if you have an insect monster, you can special summon this card from your hand, so that's always good, right? During your main phase, you can inflict 200 damage to your opponent, so that's cool. This one can special summon from your hand, and then one of them can attack twice. I think it's this one. Yeah, it's this one can attack. This card can make a second attack during each battle phase, so that's pretty cool, right? But they don't have any tuners, so I had to borrow this guy, the Transcicada.
Yeah.
So if this card is special summon, you can special summon a token, which the computer usually doesn't do. So this one is a little bit slower of a deck. You can summon like this one out and then special summon this one. This one, if it's summoned, you can summon from the graveyard. So if the tuner's in the graveyard, you're good to go. And then this one can be special summoned from your hand. So, I mean, you can get things out. You're going to see it is a little bit slower of a deck. So, we'll do a couple duels here. This is probably my least favorite of the ones. I know there's a lot of people out there that are probably Battle Wasp fanatics. I'm not one of them. It's okay. I probably will use it the least. Maybe someone that's watching can be like, Circus, what are you doing, man? That's not how you play Battle Wasp. These are just my auto-duel decks, people.
Yeah, I like their aesthetic. I like the armored beetle like look to most of them.
Oh, we got the boss monster out. All right. I don't know what it does.
It pokes things.
You can have the attack of the opponent's monster if they have a higher attack. Nice. There you go. It looked like it did some kind of burn damage too.
Yes.
There you go. Battle Wasps. We'll watch another one, see what happens. Where are you guys at with PvE? Do you guys enjoy it? It's a necessary evil, right? And that's why I always have fun making these auto-duel decks, just because this is like 99% of the game. I mean, you can go and get Cog, but besides that, this is what you're doing, right?
Yeah, it's kind of a mad scientist thing. Like, what can I make work that shouldn't?
Right. Yeah. What's he gonna do?
Always...
Here? Oh, he went to the level 4.
I mean, it's got 2,300 attack.
Yeah, it's not bad, right? I mean, it's funny how you can just slap a bunch of cards together and keep it simple for the computer, and it will win. Now, I haven't completed all my missions in the Duel Monsters world, so I'm only playing at like level 40. The bad guys are only at like level 47, 45. So this isn't top of the line, but I would still think these decks would do just fine. It's just all about the special summoning in the back row here. So we'll watch one more, and then we'll move on to my favorite deck from the new box, by far. Oh, look at that. That's dangerous. Oh, but we got Curse of Anubis. Free to play friendly.
That's a lot of bees.
Yep, each one's gets attacked twice. Look at that. They're just stinging you.
Death by 1,000 pokes.
Oh, hilarious. Oh, he's even got a little double stinger on him. How cute. All right, so there you go. Battle Wasp, if you like them, check them out. I mean, you're going to end up getting them. They're almost all normals, weren't they?
Yeah, I think only their level 8's an SR.
Let's take a look at it quick. I think that's the way it was. Most of the stuff is like normals and rares. Yeah, rare, normal. Yeah.
Oh no, their level 8's a UR. Never mind.
Yep, I remember getting that one during the video and getting laughed at because I think it was one of my guaranteed URs. All right, so this is my favorite. This actually, eHero pointed this one out to me just yesterday. He was like, "What about Speedroids?" I'm like, "What? What are you talking about?" He's like, "Speedroids, man." I'm like, "All right, let's check it out." This is the deck right here, that I've been using on the event, and like I said, I auto-dueled it for like 8 hours today. And it lost like 4 times. It was great. Basically, they're really good at sending stuff to the grave and then summoning it back out of the grave. So you can get like a tuner, use it, send it to the grave, bring it back. So you can do all kinds of synchroing plays with it. With the computer, I kept it real simple. I made it so they can only summon a 5 or a 7. So Armades or Samurai Destroyer. I didn't want it to get all cute because originally I had like a level 8 and a level 9, and it would summon out the Samurai Destroyer, bring out your level 1 tuner back to the field, and then immediately go into the 8 into Scrap Dragon because it has like 200 more attack, not use the effect, and then synchro summon into like a level 9. I'm just like, oh, that's ridiculous. So I'm like, no, you're doing 5 or you're doing 7, and it seemed to do really well. What's cool about this archetype is this one can banish itself from the grave, and then you can special summon a tuner from your hand or the graveyard. So that's really nice. This is the card I love right here, the red-eyed dice. This one, when it's summoned, you can change any Speedroids monster. You change its level up anywhere from level 1 to 6, right? So that's how it's real easy to get out of Sam Destroyer. This one, when you normal summon, you can special summon another Speedroid monster that's level 4 or below from your hand. And then when it's in the grave, you can banish it and send a Speedroid monster to the grave. So you use this, you banish it, and then like you could send the 1 to the grave, and then you can use the 3 to banish itself and then send the 1 from the grave to the field. And then this one's just in there because it allows you to discard a card and then destroy a monster on the field, which is great to get your level 1 or your level 3 tuners into the grave. And then this one just brings a monster from the graveyard and special summons it, so you can do some real crazy plays with your tuners from the graveyard. And then you can banish it from the graveyard and add 1 Speedroid monster in your graveyard to your hand. So there's just lots of crazy plays you can do with it. Like you can use the 3 to banish itself, summon the 1, synchro summon, and then play that spell and grab that tuner back, and then regular summon it on the field, and then you could like synchro ladder if you want. It's a lot of fun. I want to find like a practical use for it more than just an auto-duel deck.
Yeah, Speedroids were another archetype from the Arc 5 anime. They were used by basically the character that replaces Yusei Fudo for the Synchro world in that show.
Mm-hmm.
And his deck functions a lot like Yusei's Synchron deck, but more fluid because it was, of course, years later.
Okay.
So it synchro summons very quickly. Almost every single card in the archetype does something in the graveyard, so every card's a 2-for-1, 2-for-1, 2-for-1.
Yeah, there's a lot of that with this. It's fun to watch. Now, of course, I said it's been doing well all day. Now watch, it's gonna lose here. But you're like right there. Why wouldn't you synchro summon? You could have had the level 7. Drives me crazy sometimes. There you go. Sam Destroyer out on the field. You got to keep it simple for the computer sometimes, you know? That's game. Oh, no, he power-walled me.
When we get some of their better synchro monsters and some of their more used effect monsters, I feel like this is going to be one of the premier synchro decks at some point in time.
You think so? I hope so. I'm having a lot of fun with the archetype just because it's so consistent in auto-dueling, so it's just like, you just set it and forget it. So I'd like to find a practical use for it. You can go into Quarion Gondrax with this. It's not easy, but you can. I'm trying to find a way to make it consistent because you can go into Sam Destroyer and then you can get 2 level 1 tuners out on the board through shenanigans, but you can do it.
Yeah, it's just that Shiranuis is the most popular deck in the game right now, and they're just a synchro engine. They just climb the ladder.
Oh god, yeah.
And Speedroids can climb the ladder just as well once we get the rest of the not all of the components, but most of the components,
Mm-hmm.
which we probably won't do until we get to the 5Ds arc in Duel Links. Once we get there, once that world becomes a thing and the character that plays them comes to the game. But when we get there, the amount of times they can synchro in a turn is astronomical.
Okay. Yeah, I've been seeing that just watching the auto-dueling. And then when I got home from work, I was kind of messing around trying to get the Quarry on Gondrax play going. Yeah, it's crazy. All the I love the deck because there's so many different little interactions. Like, okay, I can summon this, it gets sent. Now I can banish this and bring a tuner back, like the computer's doing now. It's not. I got it so it can't synchro summon very much, so it just brings back the normal monsters and stuff. But when you start doing it yourself, it's like, oh, I could do this, I could do that. It's just it doesn't have a lot of built-in, like it doesn't have a built-in negate, which most decks need, right? If it's going to do well, need like one of the cards needs to just naturally negate something else. So it's missing that. It'd be nice if you could banish something from your opponent, right? Trying to think what else it needs. It's just missing a few key components, but won't take long. And as you can see, yeah, it does really well. So if you have the new box, build some auto-duel decks. Don't build these. These are just the ones I did. I'm sure you could come up with better ones than I did. And I'd like you guys to share them with us. So what you can do is you can join our Discord, and we're going to be setting up a room where we're going to be focusing on the hardcore casual gameplay aspects. So join the Discord, and then in the Discord, my name is Celebrity Circus. You can just DM me. I'll give you access to the room, and then we're going to post deck lists in there. We can discuss this kind of stuff in a fun forum. You know, it's like, hey, check out this deck. It's a lot of fun. So we'd like to have you come in and hang out with us. Ain't that right?
Yeah, we can do like people asking for an auto-duel deck for a certain event because certain events have certain rules to them. And if you guys need an auto-duel deck and don't want to think about it, we can definitely come up with that. If you have something that you really want to work and see work and you don't know how to make it work, you can post that. Or even post stuff that you've made work and share it with people that will be interested in it.
Like here, the rewards. Oh, I don't want to go to this rewards. I want to go to the lottery. You know, every event has a bunch of like cards, and people are always talking about how trash they are. What I want to do is, you know, you collect all of them, and then we'll start building crazy ass decks with them, right? Obviously, some of these won't work together, but with previous events and stuff like that, why not, right? Make some crazy decks and do videos on them. So that's the whole point behind the series, and that's what we're going to continue to do in the weeks, upcoming weeks. So the next video, here's the spoiler, here's the cliffhanger. I got 24,000 lottery coins. We're going to spend them all. We're going to do it on stream. It's going to be funny, I'm sure. I'll walk away with, I'm guessing, at least 10,000 gems. So make sure to tune in for the next hardcore casual video. And we'll see you then. I'm Circus. That's eHero. Have a good day.
Laters.